Welcome back to our Shaky Camera series, BLM. Should we decolonialize our bookshelves? Once again, we're on Harvard campus, this time outside the Harvard Law School. In the previous videos, we covered a number of different books within the so-called Western canon. Basically, the Western canon and the so-called world canon being the target of postmodernist, shall we say, theories as to removing from our bookshelves. So, let's start today's series video with Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad. Published in 1902. The seaman Marlowe tells of his harrowing experiences while captain of a little steamer that forged its way up and down the Congo, visiting trading posts of a company that dealt in ivory. The greed and sickness and degeneration of the white agents, the hunger and death and virtual slavery of the natives are incidental background to the particular story of Mr. Kurtz, a kind of genius who in strange ways got more ivory than any of his competitors, and whom some of the tribes and more than one white person adored. He has reveled in forbidden power, but when Marlowe finally meets him, is of little more than a voice, shrunken in his last tropical illness. This great imperialist and exploiter dies on board the steamboat, murmuring, "The horror, the horror." Marlowe takes a packet of letters to the girl back home who mourns him, and in the presence of her pathetic delusions about Kurtz, restrains his own opinion. He feels obliged to tell her that the last word her fiancé spoke was her name. How fascinating. Our next title in the so-called Western canon is a book by Maria Edgeworth, written in 1801. It's a novel, Castle RACKRENT. This novel by Miss Edgeworth, who was noted for her unparalleled pictures of Irish character, depicts the riotous living and reckless spending of some Irish landlords in the 18th century. See, by squeezing their tenants, the landlords were able to live in luxury, but were eventually brought to ruin by their own foolhardiness. Beatty Quirk, a steward who works for the RACKRENT family, tells her story in a vivid fashion. Sir Patrick was a true and hospitable Irishman, hard-drinking and jovial, and when he dies, his funeral is one of the finest ever beheld. Sir Murtagh, the lawyer, oppresses his tenants without mercy, while his wife, a member of the Skinflint family, holds a charity school at which the pupils are forced to spin for her ladyship. Sir Kit, the next landlord, marries a rich Jew and keeps her locked in a room for 7 years because she refuses to part with her jewels. Sir Condy RACKRENT spends the remaining bit of the family wealth and dies from drinking. Beatty's son, Jason, the lawyer, finally purchases a debt-ridden hall and its land. Be thinking about these two titles as you contemplate further. Should we decolonialize our bookshelves?